All right, so you want to spice up your next conversation? Well, buckle up because we're diving deep into some seriously fascinating chemistry factoids that'll make you the hit of any party.
You know, the kind that make people go, wait, really?
Exactly. And you guys sent us some amazing cocktail party chemistry episodes. We dug through them, and let me tell you, these factoids are out of this world.
Literally, we're talking about the chemistry of Venus.
Venus, huh? Isn't that the planet that's basically a runaway greenhouse effect gone wild?
That's the one. It's a fascinating and kind of scary example of what can happen when greenhouse gases get out of control.
Okay, so let's break this down. What's up with Venus's atmosphere? What makes it so different from ours?
Well, imagine this. Venus is covered in thick clouds, but not the fluffy white kind we're used to. These clouds are made of sulfuric acid.
Sulfuric acid, like the stuff that can burn through metal.
Yep, that's the one. And as if that wasn't bad enough, the atmosphere itself is almost entirely carbon dioxide.
So it's like a toxic sauna from hell.
Pretty much, you definitely wouldn't want to be taught on Venus's surface.
I can imagine. But what about the CO2? What does all that carbon dioxide do to the planet?
Well, it traps heat like crazy. Think of it like a pressure cooker on the stove. The dense CO2 atmosphere makes Venus the hottest planet in our solar system.
Hotter than Mercury. But Mercury's closer to the sun.
It's true, but Venus's atmosphere is so good at trapping heat that it actually gets hotter than Mercury, even though it's farther away.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. So we've got this crazy sulfuric acid cloud situation and a super thick CO2 blanket trapping heat. Are these two things connected somehow?
Absolutely, they're linked by volcanoes.
Volcanoes, like erupting volcanoes on Venus.
You got it. Scientists believe that volcanic activity on Venus releases massive amounts of sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. This sulfur dioxide reacts with other elements, creating those sulfuric acid clouds.
Ah, so the volcanoes are kind of fueling this whole heat-trapping cycle. But how did Venus get so messed up in the first place? Was it always this hot?
That's the million-dollar question, and scientists are still trying to figure it out. Some theories suggest that Venus might have once been more Earth-like with oceans and a more temperate climate.
Really? So what happened?
Well, something triggered a runaway greenhouse effect. It's like a snowball effect, where the more heat gets trapped, the more changes occur in the atmosphere, trapping even more heat.
So basically, it went from a paradise planet to a scorching inferno.
It's a cautionary tale for us Earthlings, for sure. It shows how delicate a planet's atmosphere can be.
Right, if we don't watch our own greenhouse gas emissions, we could end up like Venus.
Exactly. Understanding Venus helps us understand the dynamics of climate change and what can happen when things go to extremes.
It's definitely a reminder to take care of our own planet. So we've got this super hot planet with a toxic atmosphere and clouds of acid. What else makes Venus chemically unique?
Okay, get this. Venus's atmosphere rotates much faster than the planet itself. It's like a giant atmosphere conveyor belt whipping around the planet in just 4 Earth days.
4 Earth days? That's crazy fast. What's it like on the surface with all that wind?
Well, imagine winds of hundreds of kilometers per hour.
So it's not just a furnace, it's a wind tunnel from hell.
You could say that, but from a scientific perspective, it's incredibly valuable information. Studying Venus teaches us about the limits of planetary habitability and how geology, chemistry, and climate all interact.
I'm already feeling smarter just thinking about it. But with all this talk about extreme heat and toxic clouds, is there any chance that life could exist on Venus?
You'd think it would be impossible, right? But in science, you never say never. While the surface is definitely a no-go, some scientists believe that microbial life could potentially exist in the upper layers of the atmosphere.
Wait, seriously, life in the clouds of Venus?
It sounds wild, I know, but there's some interesting evidence. Scientists have detected unusual chemicals in Venus's atmosphere, including phosphine gas.
What's so special about phosphine gas?
It's often associated with biological processes, which means it could be a sign of life.
So there's a chance, however small, that some hardy microbes are hanging out in those sulfuric acid clouds. That's insane.
It's a long shot, but it's an intriguing possibility, and it shows how resilient and adaptable life can be.
This makes me wonder what else is going on in that crazy Venusian atmosphere. Are there any other strange chemical reactions we haven't talked about yet?
Oh, there's plenty more. For example, did you know that Venus has metallic snow?
Metallic snow on a planet hot enough to melt lead. Okay, now I'm really hooked. You have to tell me more of these.
Metallic snow on Venus. It sounds crazy, right?
It does. I mean, how can there be snow on a planet that's basically a furnace?
Well, it's not snow like we have here on Earth. It's not made of frozen water.
What is it made of then?
Think metallic compounds. Things like lead sulfide and bismuth sulfide.
Lead sulfide, like the stuff in batteries.
Exactly. And these compounds actually exist as gases in the lower parts of Venus's atmosphere.
Okay, but how do they turn into snow?
It all comes down to temperature. As you go higher in Venus's atmosphere, it actually gets cooler.
Wait, really? I thought it would be higher the closer you get to the sun.
You'd think so, but remember that super thick CO2 layer we talked about? It traps most of the heat near the surface.
Ah, right, the CO2 to make it.
Exactly. So as you go higher, the temperature drops, and these metallic compounds go from a gas to a solid.
And that's how you get metallic snow.
Pretty much. It's like a bizarre form of frost high up in the Venusian sky.
Wild. It's amazing how different Venus is from Earth.
Speaking of differences, Venus has been a hot spot for space exploration.
You mean literally a hot spot, right?
Well, yeah, that too. But I meant that scientists have sent lots of missions to study Venus.
Makes sense. It's our closest planetary neighbor. What kind of missions are we talking about?
All sorts. Probes to study the atmosphere, orbiters to map the surface, even landers that tried to touch down on that scorching terrain.
I can't even imagine trying to design a spacecraft that could survive on Venus. What have we learned from these missions?
So much. We've learned about its geology, the composition of its atmosphere, and we've even gotten clues about whether life could exist there.
Like those potential microbes in the clouds.
Exactly. One of the most famous missions was the Venera series, launched by the Soviet Union.
Those were the first to actually land on Venus, right?
Yep, and they sent back some incredible data showing a landscape full of volcanoes, lava flows, and vast plains.
So it's not just the atmosphere that's hot. The whole planet is volcanically active.
Well, that's what scientists are trying to figure out. There's evidence suggesting that Venus might still have active volcanoes today.
Wow, so much activity. Venus just keeps getting more and more interesting. I mean, we've got sulfuric acid clouds, a runaway greenhouse effect, metallic snow, and maybe even erupting volcanoes. What else is there to know about this wild planet?
Well, how about this? Venus rotates in the opposite direction of most other planets in our solar system.
The opposite direction. You're kidding. What does that mean exactly?
It means that on Venus, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east.
Whoa, that's totally backwards. Why does it do that?
The leading theory is that Venus got whacked by a huge object early in its history, like a
Yeah.
massive collision that literally flipped its rotation.
A cosmic fender bender that changed a whole planet's spin. It makes you wonder if anything else could happen that drastically. Like, what are the chances of humans ever actually going to Venus?
That's a tough one. It would be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, I mean, with the heat, the pressure, the toxic atmosphere.
It would require some seriously advanced technology. We'd need suits and spacecraft that could handle those extreme conditions.
Sounds like a mission straight out of science fiction. But what would be the point? Why send humans to Venus at all?
Well, think about it. Astronauts could do so much more than robots. They could collect samples, run experiments, and make observations in real time. It would revolutionize our understanding of Venus.
I see your point, but the risks would be huge.
Absolutely. Human safety would be the top priority. Any mission to Venus would have to be planned meticulously.
It sounds like something for the far future when we have the technology and the knowledge to make it safe.
Exactly. For now, we have to rely on our robotic explorers to uncover the secrets of Venus.
Fair enough. But who knows? Maybe one day we'll be able to send humans to explore those Venusian clouds and see if those microbes really exist.
And that would be a truly amazing discovery.
It's funny, we started talking about how to, like, liven up a cocktail party, and now we're experts on a planet where cocktails would, well, evaporate instantly.
I guess that's how these deep dives go. You never know where they'll take you.
True. But before we totally leave Venus behind, is there anything else about its chemistry we should know? Any last mind-blowing facts?
We talked about those microbes that might be living in Venus's clouds, right?
Yeah, those tough little guys.
Well, it might sound crazy, but we actually have something similar right here on Earth.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
There are these things called extremophiles. Basically, they're microorganisms that live in places that would kill most other life.
Like where?
Think boiling hot springs, those deep sea vents that spew superheated water, even places with really acidic water.
So if those tiny things can survive in those extreme places on Earth, maybe similar life forms could handle Venus's atmosphere.
Exactly. It just goes to show how tough and adaptable life can be. It finds a way, even in the most unexpected places.
That's amazing. So even though Venus isn't exactly a vacation destination, it teaches us that we still have so much to learn about life in the universe.
Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll have the technology to explore those Venusian clouds up close and actually see if those microbes exist.
That would be an incredible discovery. Well, I think we've given our listeners enough to make them the most interesting people at any party.
We've covered a lot, haven't we? Sulfuric acid clouds, metallic snow, the possibility of life on Venus, and even those extremophiles here on Earth.
I feel like I could give a lecture on the chemistry of Venus now, but more importantly, I think this deep dive has really sparked my curiosity about space and all its mysteries.
That's the best part, right? Never stop exploring, never stop asking questions, and always be ready for new discoveries.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So to everyone listening, next time you're hanging out with friends, Drop some Venus knowledge on them.
It's a planet that's both a warming and a source of endless fascination.
And remember, even in the most extreme places, the universe is full of surprises. Keep looking up.
And keep those minds curious.